Hello, I'm Jacoby Matott, and I'd like to introduce to you my project, Guts the Hellbound Halloween. This is an all-original graphic novel that I'm trying to launch here on Kickstarter. This behemoth of a book is around 304 pages, and it's taken me 13 years of my life to complete. As a frame of reference, it's just as thick as the first Harry Potter book, only the difference is every single page is drenched in hand-drawn, traditionally illustrated art. There's no AI used in the making of it. In fact, most of the drawings were completed long before AI was even a thing. The book is in full color and it really captures that spirit of the Halloween season. It tells the story of Nancy and her friends, a group of rambunctious teenagers that call themselves the Ravens. On Halloween night, they attend a mysterious local Halloween festival. Their decision ends up being more than they bargained for when Lord Halloween, an ancient evil sorcerer tied to Halloween's past, wreaks havoc upon the festival goers. Using a magical ember, Lord Halloween transforms the carnival's costumed actors and guests into an army of grotesque monsters and demons who kidnap Nancy's closest friend Katrina. To save her, the Ravens must battle against countless ghouls, spooks, and some of their worst nightmares. In a race against the clock, they'll need to do everything they can to save Katrina's very soul from ultimate peril. Will the gang be able to save their ill-fated friend? Can they stop the forces of evil and thwart Lord Halloween's sinister plans? Will anyone even make it out alive? One thing is for certain. It's sure to be an epic Halloween adventure. This whole story is my passion project tribute to the entire horror film genre, from the black and white monster classics to the gory splatter films of the 80s and onwards. The general vibe that I'm kind of shooting for is some type of strange cross between Nightmare on Elm Street's The Dream Warriors, The Lost Boys, and even Killer Clowns from Outer Space, just to name a few. It's also my loving homage to the Halloween season itself and kind of how I romanticize what it felt like as a kid growing up in the 90s and 2000s and getting to experience that. I'd like to show you an inside look at some of the process that it's taken to create this. My drawing style has transformed over time. It's hard to believe that I drew the first page way back in 2012. At that time I was using Adobe Illustrator to ink digitally. I guess I thought it would look a little more professional, but later on I found it much more expressive to just draw and ink it all traditionally. So at a natural turning point in the story, the art style changes. I drew the bulk of the story traditionally. Each page took on average around 16 hours straight, give or take, to just pencil and ink. It was whole winters that I would just sit inside and not do anything but draw and illustrate. And that's not even counting all of the hours it took my colorist to color, my letterer to letter, or all the formatting I had to do. But I can't draw all the time, so life happens in between. It's been especially fun adding my own spin to many of the creatures and monsters that make up what Halloween is. Halloween isn't like Christmas or Easter that are tied to a single figurehead, like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. Halloween is much more variety. Even though I say it's taken me 10 or 13 years dedicated to making this book come to life, I could almost argue that it's taken my whole life. Within the pages I've hidden a few drawings from my early childhood back in the early 90s. Even then you could tell the holiday really resonated with me. But it's not just an all-out monsters attack type of book. I've drawn from a few life experiences that have had an impact on me. Some of the characters are working through a few things that ultimately make them who they are. It's been a very long road to get to where the book is at this time, but I can't take credit for all of it. After college, I connected with a fellow artist friend of mine named Andrew Waldy. I hired him to do all the colors in the book. He's worked very closely with me on everything. But credit where credit is due, nobody in all of comic books and graphic novels that I've ever read has used a color palette that screams, that bleeds Halloween quite like Andrew does. Most of the horror stories I've read will use a muted color palette and heavy black shadows. That works great for horror. But Halloween is fun, Halloween is vibrant, and so are the horror movies from the 80s and 90s. Andrew's work just drips with these rich oranges, purples, and greens that are so closely tied to the very identity of Halloween. This is Kit Kat, aka Princess Pudge. She really doesn't help me with the book, but she does like to be present during the process. I really think this book is going to be for all of us spooky people out there. It's for those of us who get excited about the changing autumn colors, or the crisp chill in the air. It's for anyone that lives like it's Halloween year-round. It's for the horror movie fan that loves movies both critically acclaimed and cheesy trash alike. It's for gorehounds, for savage horror creeps. It's for those of us who just like things a little more macabre. We are the weirdos, mister. I just want to thank anyone who supports me and are just willing to pitch in a little bit of money to help this project reach its goal. And those who are genuinely interested in the story and want to buy a book. Or a few. It's been a really long road to get to where we are, and we just need a little bit more help to make this dream become a reality. I need to thank everyone who has supported me in this passion project over the years. It's been a test of perseverance. Thank you to all my friends and family for all of your support and encouragement. Thank you to the talented and skilled people that have collaborated with me. My colorist Andrew, my editor Nick, and my letterer Keith. I couldn't have done it without you. I really hope everyone enjoys this story as much as I've enjoyed writing and illustrating it. Thank you. And thank you.